So it's just a week since we've done our last first impressions for Marvel Strike Force, but already we have another new character out. It's our 4th X-Force character, which leaves only X-23 to complete the team. But today it's Negasonic. I always want to say Negasonic Teenage Warhead, the full name, whenever I say it, but I'll shorten it to Negasonic for the purpose of this video. But we'll be checking her out. You can see the power levels on it are 67,000, which is really pretty decent. And we'll do our usual for the first impressions. We don't have the orb opening, of course, because she's already ranked up. What we'll do is we'll talk about the stats. I've already punched them into the spreadsheet. We'll look at the abilities. I'll tell you which ones I would actually use your tier 4s on. And then we'll show off our animations. We'll do some gameplay. I think it's Nexus 8.3 we'll jump into. It's always pretty fun to do. And then later on tonight, what I'll look to do is I'll look to do a Blitz video, so it seems that you're all really enjoying them as well. But let's go in and we'll have a look at the stats first here. The stats then have already been punched into the spreadsheet, so I've got them all worked out. So if you look at the health, that is up at a B there. The damage is a B as well. It was exceptionally close to an A, to the fact that with my calculations it could probably be an A or a B. So if you've maybe calculated it yourself and it's come out at an A, I wouldn't necessarily argue with you there. The armour's really high, that's definitely going to be up at an A rating. You've then got focus, which is a B rating, that comes in at. Resistance, a little bit on the lower side, that's at C. And then the speed, if we scroll down, is way down at 90, exceptionally slow, that is an E. But when we look at her kit, she has ways of actually speeding herself up, and it's specifically when you go up against the mercs, that speed up is going to be really useful. But let's jump in now and actually check out the abilities. So we start off with the basic here. This is currently at level 6. It's called Energy Blast. So with this one, you're attacking primary target, 290% damage. You have to max it out, an additional 50% damage to a primary target. I think you already know already that's not worth maxing out at all. 50% damage, not exactly that high, and the fact it's only a single target as well, so you definitely don't want to go for that. You then have Particle Charge. Looks like you'll be using this turn number 2. So with this, you're attacking primary and adjacent targets, 240% damage, and you clear 3 positive effects from each target. The attack cannot be blocked. If you max it out, and you definitely want to do it with this one, you get an additional 60% damage to primary and secondary targets. But the really important part here is you're clearing all positive effects from each target. And with how many buffs characters actually throw on themselves nowadays, the difference between clearing 3 positive effects and clearing all of them can actually be a huge amount. It really can be game changing there. For the ultimate, using this one, turn number 1, you can see it's 6 turns to charge and comes fully charged. So it's called Warhead, and with this you attack all enemies for 300% damage. You're applying heal block for 2 turns, so against your mercenaries that'll be really useful because they just seem to heal so often. And then on War Offense, you clear defense up on all targets. If you were to max it out, you get an additional 60% damage to all enemies. This is one of the abilities where I would say go in with it at level 6 and see if you feel you need that extra damage to maybe take certain enemies out before she gets her next turn, or before they potentially get their turn. So don't upgrade it straight away, but the fact that it's 60% damage to all enemies, it could be useful, so definitely look into that a bit more. The passive is ticking time bomb. This one is absolutely insane, and you can kind of see with this one that our kit's just been set up specifically to counter the mercs. It really is pretty crazy, because the way the mercs work is they'll attack the target with the highest damage, I believe, and they just do a ton of attacks at the start. But if you look at this here, you start off on spawn, you bury yourself for 10% of this character's max health. That helps you eat the merc attacks. And then on enemy turn, you bury yourself for 5% of this character's max health. So in a way you're almost getting health back, almost in a way that's how barrier works. And then you're filling your speed bar by 10%. If the character has barrier, then you gain 20% armour, and our armour already was up at an A rating. And then on War Offense, on spawn you fill speed bar by 10% plus 5% per X-Force ally. You gain a whopping 30% damage, and X-Force allies gain that as well, so they're going to be hitting incredibly hard. If you max it out, you're getting an additional 10% armour for self if the character has barrier, and on War Offense an additional 20% damage for self and X-Force allies, taking them up to a whopping additional 50% damage, which is just insane. So this is one you most definitely want to max out. So that's all the abilities anyway, so let's go now and we will check out her animations. So I'll switch to the other side here so you can actually see the tooltips for the skills and I fire them off. But there's a barrier there, you can see that. And then she's got her first turn. So this one, I would actually take everyone out. I don't actually want to do that just yet because otherwise the match will be over pretty quick. Let's see what animations we've got in the basic. Characters generally have 2 to 3 different animations. She's looking to be really powerful. If the enemy turn, gaining speed bar and barrier every turn, that seems pretty crazy, to be honest. Let's actually go over here because we don't want to take too many characters out. This is the special here, we're attacking primary and adjacent. There we go, she fires through them. I'll do the basic attack a few more times before we fire off the ultimate. So, as mentioned, this is just showing off the animations very quickly here. Pretty simple for our basic attack. I think it's probably just a selection of different punches. She seems pretty crazy, this barrier and speed bar. I think there's a lot of potential for her to maybe give teams trouble, definitely. Quite interesting. I don't know if that actually fits into her kit, or again, like I mentioned earlier, they've just built it this way so that it can counter specifically the mercs, but it's going to give a lot of other teams trouble as well, I reckon. Imagine with your red stars and that barrier going up constantly. Yeah, she could be a pain. Let's go for the basic one more time here. Wouldn't like to actually see her in Dark Dimension, because thinking about it, if she was constantly putting the barrier up for a portion of her health, you would just never be able to take her down. But let's fire off the ultimate here before we get into that show X-Force gameplay. So let's see this one. And she goes up and down. Yeah, that's decent enough. Nothing spectacular, but nice enough. So let's go into the gameplay now. It will be Nexus 8.3 and I'll show you off the team and the power levels just before I do that. As we mentioned a moment ago, of course we're missing X23. When I do this gameplay, I'll just drop in the X-Force characters, even though there are some other characters that can work pretty nice in the 5th slot. But you can see with this setup here, you've got 93,000 Deadpool, 89,000 Domino, which is pretty amazing considering she was only out 2 releases ago. You've got Cable 83,000, and then you've got Negasonic, and it does look like she's on the lower side, but let's be honest, 67,000 is actually still pretty amazing as well, and this isn't my account, so I'm not bragging or anything like that. But that's the team there, so let's jump into Nexus 8.3 now. So our total team power then, it was sitting at 334,000, that's only with 4 characters, so I reckon they should smash it here. Getting the barrier, you're getting the speed fill via Cable as well, potentially. I think I really need to look into this team more, but it looks like they're going to be offering a fair amount, even without X23. So let's see. We'll start off with this here. I'll put it on ×2. And then we'll go for bouncing between the minion characters here, adding the bleed to them as well. And you can see Cable getting energy there with the kills on Deadpool. I'm pretty certain that's how it works. Here we go. So we've got this to start off with. Attacking all the enemies. Let's slow it down for this, just to see how we do with it. That's a pretty nice nuke for turn number 1. She gets it pretty quick there due to the speed bar filling up, and yeah, that's pretty nice. A lot of health coming off enemies, and your heal block actually going on them as well, giving them trouble straight away there. I reckon they will absolutely demolish the mercenaries when they do go up against them. I'll try and get footage of that if I can. Let's see. Yes, we're going to go for this one here. There we go. Then we've got Domino this time. This is a nice one. They throw the grenade between Domino and Deadpool. There we go, that's it. Oh no, they're not out. I thought we just about got them. Not quite. Get a double attack here and that'll get through the death proof. Not enough. Deadpool getting another shot, why is that? Still definitely getting used to this team. I need to figure out why that was. I'm sure you'll let me know in the comments below anyway. With Cable, we need to be using, he's not got charged, so I need to use the basic first. That's the mistake I made before. To give him the charged. There you go, he gets his turn straight away again because that 800 speed bar fill, and then you'll fire off this one here. There's just so much speed bar manipulation going on, there really is. Kind of feels fun. I don't think we've really had a team that does that too much. try and think other characters that can manipulate a speed bar, try and throw together a team just all speed bar manipulators and see how they go on, see if you can stop the enemy team from having their turn. Maybe that's a Nexus 5.9 challenge, see if we can stop Ultimus from having his turn at all, just by manipulating his speed bar. That sounds like that could be a fun video. So I'm just trying to get through this nice and quick here. It's just to see how they all work together, but the real fun comes when I do the follow-up video where we actually go up against some of the meta teams in the game and we see how they go on. And for that one, like the last video I done when I covered Domino, let me know in the comments below this video which character you would like to see in the 5th slot when it comes to some tier 8 blitz. Here we go, just 2 enemies remaining here. Definitely feeling pretty potent with this extra character. Then I need to look at X23's kit a bit more to see how she'll fill in any gaps. And there we go. Domino, final hit. And that's us done. So hope that was interesting enough. Let me know if you've unlocked her, what you're thinking of her. Let me know if you've not unlocked her, what you think of this little preview. And keep an eye out for that other video. And once again, do leave some recommendations for the 5th character you'd like to see. And thanks for tuning in. Stay safe and see you all again soon.